let's talk mid-range. What are some of your like go-tos when you're going to process a bunch of bass sounds that sit all up in the mids? Do you do anything specific on the group? Is there anything fun? Do you just put a decapitator on it and just call it a day, or what?
No, I get, especially with anything that has a lot of mids in it, I'll usually spend like a ton of time on and have at some point like several like in series frequency splitting where I'm paying special attention to it. Just because if I didn't, and you think about what my music sounds like, it would be like really abrasive and obnoxious. And that was like one thing maybe a few years ago when I was trying to make music that I kind of sound like now. I would always finish projects and be like, this is obnoxious. I was like, sure. And I was like, that's kind of what I'm going for, but also it needs to be like tastefully obnoxious, you know? And that's kind of what I think about is like every sound. I'll just try to make sure I have like some nice envelopes or attack on it, just so you're not getting like hit with a heavy mid transient and you can leave like that transient space somewhere else. And then with mid on fat stanky basses, I feel like making them different is so important because that sound, that like frequency range gets really just static really quick and really just like your ears just getting punched with something.
Right, there's not a lot there.
And then like I think when you hear like humans talking, a lot of like vocalization happens in the mid range. Like the way your vocal cords like formant frequency work. Yeah, so I feel like I always try to think of the concept of like attitude in my sounds. Like I don't really think of like stories or narratives or like a message in my music, but like attitude. I'm like this.
I like that.
This sound used to be like sassy. This one's like dickhead. This one's stupid. It's always qualities like that too. And like
this one got held back a few years.
Yeah, this one got held back. This one's like on drugs, eating Slim Jims in the corner. Don't mind him. And because that articulation that sets them apart and gives them that their unique attitudes happens in the mid. That's kind of what leads me to having variation in there and just like every sound having a unique sort of like body to it.
Right.
Maybe.
Okay.
100%.
Yeah.
Fuck. I think I'm kind of blowing it then because I don't even think about my mids at all, which is probably not.
I mean,
good.
you probably do.
You
just
have
not
to think
thinking
about them when you're leveling.
See, what I think about is the lows and the highs, and I get those where I want it. So I feel like the mids kind of just settle around that.
Which I feel like can, like still sounds good, but like taking care of your mids is what separates like good from like really good.
Right.
I think because shit just like punches your ear less. Like if you listen to any of the goats, like you'll hear their mids don't just like they're like they kind of grow and sink really fast and they like morph around.
Yeah,
I like the idea of a series of multi-band splitting. Is it like compressing within kind of like a range and then doing that to another range and then doing that to another range kind of a deal?
Yeah, it's like on my individual channels, I'll be doing a bit of frequency splitting. And then when I have like a handful of sounds that seem kind of similar, like my cool basses, when I'm busting them together, at some point there's probably some frequency splitting going on. And that's when I'm looking at stuff like compress. I usually will put a compressor with like a kind of slower attack or slow attack on the mids too, just to like make the transient chill. Fast attack, slow release, whichever the hell it is. Just like compress the mids again, make sure the highs are punching. And Dan Eos like recently was so awesome and it really helped me with like how to use reference tracks in a much like better, smarter way than I'd been doing.
Ooh, let's dive into that.
Since doing that, like it's been awesome. Just like constantly keeping a reference up.